Today, we're going to go over some of my favorite cars to drive right now in GTA Online, starting off with the brand new NS300R. I think this thing is absolutely amazing. It has awesome customizations, and from this angle, it looks absolutely beautiful. The only thing I don't like about it is obviously the front end. I hate the headlights. People say, oh, they had to make it like that because of copyright and they're going to get sued. It's not like that. They could have literally put the exact headlights that the new Nissan Z actually has, but just changed the style up a little bit. Instead, they tried to make it look like the 190Z instead, which they did exactly, but I just don't think it suits the car. End of the day, though, when I'm driving it, I just don't look at it from the front. I look at it from the back, and it looks absolutely beautiful, and I really like the way that I customized it as well. But yeah, I'm super happy that Rockstar released this car. I drive it around all the time. Performance is pretty damn good. It's a small car, so it's really easy to control, and you could fit through small gaps between cars and everything. And when it comes to other models of this car, like the Euros, I'm not a huge fan of that because I just don't think it looks that nice. The ZR380, in my opinion, is a beautiful vehicle, but it has armor on it. And then they released this thing, which is obviously the new model of the Zs, and this thing just looks beautiful. I love it. I love driving it around, and I'm probably going to drive it around for a lot longer. It's just that front end that bugs me a bit, but it is still a beautiful car. Next, we got the brand new Brocade 6x6. Now, if you guys know me at all, I love ramming into cars and ramming into cops and just ramming into anything that drives because all of that shit really pisses me off when I'm driving, and then a pedestrian just turns into another lane, and then boom, I crash and wipe out, and it'll mess up whatever I'm doing. But with this thing, it's literally a tank without a gun. And it is definitely a huge upgrade from the regular Brocade, which blows up after one missile. This thing can survive 39 homing missiles and RPGs, which is absolutely incredible. And when it comes to ramming into other cars, and trucks, and buses, and planes, and literally anything that moves, this thing will just drive straight through it, and that's what I love most about it. Compared to other vehicles that could do the same thing, they tend to get messed up a little bit easier. Like you ram into too many cars, and then what'll end up happening is you'll end up wiping out or something. But this thing can literally just plow straight through an entire row of cars, which is what you're going to see when I'm driving on this highway. It just goes straight through them all, and I love that because when I get bored in GTA 5, this is something I enjoy doing. I'm not sure how many of you guys enjoy doing it. We all have our things that we like to do, but this is something I love. So when a vehicle comes out that is good at doing this, I'm going to take advantage of it and continue to use it. I don't even use the Phantom Wedge anymore because that was honestly a great vehicle for this as well. Same with the Apocalypse or Future Shock Bruiser from Arena War, which is still a great vehicle for this, and it of course does have a couple extra perks, but this thing is just fun, and it's also super strong. So if I am in a public lobby and I'm doing this, somebody pulls up with an oppressor, they ain't gonna do shit to me. They can continue to shoot me with missiles. My truck isn't even gonna move. Like, I'm just gonna be chilling, continue to drive down the road, and I'll be perfectly fine. I love this vehicle, and the best part is, I got it practically free. A lot of people say, oh, it's not free. All you gotta do is complete the first dose missions. You get 630 grand in total from completing them, and then just like that, you only need 120k in order to purchase the vehicle, along with the new Manchez that came out. So it's not completely free, but coming up with an extra 120k is really not hard at all. So that's another reason I love it. I think it's a perfect vehicle. I'm really happy that Rockstar is practically giving it out for free in this update, and I just enjoy driving this thing around because it's just fun. Obviously, I had to add the Oppressor Mark II. It's literally one of my favorite vehicles in the entire game, and it will always be one of my favorite vehicles to drive around right now. The reason why is because how useful it is. Anytime I do a mission, I am using this. If it's in free mode, this vehicle is with me every single time because it's so easy to complete missions. You hop on it, use the rocket boost, and you're in the sky in less than 3 seconds. Same thing when you're landing. It comes to a stop so quickly. It has 20 missiles within it. I just request my terabyte in really quickly if I run out, drive in it, and then drive right out, and then boom, it's fully repaired. I got 20 missiles again, and I'm good to go. It's literally the perfect vehicle for doing missions. A lot of people grieve with it, and even though Rockstar did nerf it, it really doesn't feel any different, but at the same time, I think it is one of the best vehicles in GTA Online because of how useful it is for doing missions, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree with that. If you don't own one of these, I would highly recommend buying one just to do stuff in free mode because it is so damn useful. I genuinely don't like electric cars in real life or in video games, but I really love the Omnis EGT, and I think it's an amazing vehicle and probably one of my favorite vehicles from the most recent update when they released it. And it also has armor plating on it, so you can survive a homing missile, or you can also survive like one grenade or sticky bomb, which is what you're going to see in a second here when I got pinned on a highway by a bunch of cops. I just threw a grenade down, everything blew up around me, and I just kept driving. Sadly, I forgot to put bulletproof tires tires on it, which is my bad because then all my tires caught on fire, but it is still awesome, and it has great acceleration, pretty damn good handling, and it's got some pretty cool looking upgrades and liveries available for it. I would never use something like this in a race because I know electric cars are not good in races in GTA 5 because they have a set top speed, but this thing has great acceleration, so driving around the city, going around turns, it will literally take off all the time, and if somebody's chasing you in a normal car, they're not going to be able to catch up to you because of how great the acceleration is on this thing. Like, it literally just takes off like a spaceship, and I love it. Like I said, not a huge fan of electric cars, but this thing, it's got pretty much everything I'm looking for in a car except for obviously a V8, but I mean, I still love it, and I really enjoy driving it around in GTA 5. The final car I love driving around right now in GTA 5 is going to be the Vigero ZX. I personally really just love the look of this car. I think it's stunning. Rockstar did an outstanding job at creating this thing in GTA 5, and that is literally one of the main reasons I like driving it around. You compare it to the Dominator GTX, and I just think that shit is ugly. Even the Gauntlet Hellfire, I think, is disgusting. I feel like they really should remake the Gauntlet Hellfire and release a newer version of it. Like I say all the time, the way that Rockstar designs cars now compared to how they did when the Gauntlet Hellfire was released is completely different. They make them look so much nicer right now and way more realistic to what they actually look like in real life, which honestly for me makes it so much more fun to play this game because yeah, we don't have real cars, but now they're making cars in game look almost identical to the cars in real life with a few little tweaks so they don't get sued. And when it comes to performance, it's a pretty damn good car. You compare it to some sports cars and supercars, and in my opinion, this car handles a lot better than those, which is definitely one thing you want to look for in a muscle car, especially if you're going to do muscle car races, because having a car that can handle well in one of those races is very, very useful. And it's also pretty damn fast, and it can be fitted with HSW modifications to make it even faster. It's a pretty damn amazing car, which is why it's one of my favorite vehicles to drive around right now in GTA 5. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap things up for today. Thank you so much for watching, and with that said, I will catch you guys in the next one.